Show. Right now, my guest is Missouri Senator Will Kraus. He has been a guest on this show several times in the past. Senator, how are you?
I'm good, Mark. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thanks for giving us some time today. We appreciate that.
Hey, thanks for having me on.
You guys are in the thick of debate on a number of issues down there in Jefferson City, but one of them has to do with how police use cell phone technology to track criminals. Tell me about this bill that's being debated right now.
So we just passed it out of the Senate this week. It's the cell site simulator bill, and like you said, what it does is it actually acts like a tower, and then your cell phone would give information straight to it, just like it would the tower. So all your voice and your data communication go through it. So what we're doing is basically saying, hey, this is just like tapping into a wireline phone, so you should get a warrant just like you do for tapping into a phone line.
Right. And you know, I mean, my question, I guess, would be, are law enforcement clearly likes to use this as a tool, but right now they do so without any restrictions. Is that right?
Well, right now they do, but on the federal level, they do require them to get warrants. Just the Kansas City and St. Louis Police Department, they actually do have them, and they're not required to get warrants. So I'm not saying I don't know that they always do. I think that some do, but not always.
Okay, so how did this come on your radar?
You know, I was just looking at the news a couple years ago and said, wait a minute, we've got a device out there that obviously is new technology, and we aren't requiring warrants. And so I filed a bill a couple years ago. It didn't get very far, and this year we've got it on the floor and got it out of the Senate. So hopefully the House will take it up and we can get it passed this year to protect our Fourth Amendment right.
Yeah, you're running a little short on time here, I guess. But if it's already passed the Senate, it's heading in the right direction. Did you get any pushback from law enforcement on it?
We got a little bit, but we worked with them and we listened to their concerns, and we actually incorporated a couple of those concerns into the bill. So they don't outwardly oppose it. We'll see if they're going to go behind our back and try to kill it. Yeah,
well, just to be clear, I mean, they don't just set this up on the side of the highway to pick up every cell phone. They take it into areas where maybe they're trying to target drug deals or something like that.
Right, yeah, they're not trying. I mean, normal people, they're not trying to pick up that kind of information. They can, but we want to make sure we have the right safety measures in place and that they get a warrant and that they're using the devices like they should be, not tracking normal citizens that haven't done anything wrong.
We're kind of having that debate nationally right now with Susan Rice and this mess in the White House, now that I think about it.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what you're talking about. And so this is just new technology. It behooves us to make sure we put the right laws in place to protect citizens' rights, and that's what this is.
Yeah. What else are you working on and hoping to get through before the end of this session?
You know, I've got various bills. A couple bills that passed this week. The bill that passed earlier in the session is the most important bill for me, is the delivery fees, making sure we exempt them from sales tax. A couple years ago, the Supreme Court ruled that not necessarily all delivery fees are exempt from sales and use tax. And so last summer, the Department of Revenue issued a letter out to numerous businesses, pizza delivery, drugstore deliveries, and said, hey, you may have to be collecting sales tax. Well, since then, if you start looking, some of your delivery fees, they are charging sales tax on.
Oh.
That was never the intent of the General Assembly. So we're cleaning up that and making sure that it's clear that pizza delivery, the delivery fee isn't required to be taxed.
Well, yeah, they may charge you a delivery fee, but they're not supposed to be charging you if you eat the food off the premises. Isn't that what it is?
No, it's a sales tax. So right now, as you buy a pizza, you pay sales tax on the pizza, but the delivery is a service. So what we're making sure is they're not putting a sales tax on the service of actually delivering the pizza.
I see. Well, good. Awesome. Well, I appreciate you giving us a few minutes of time today. You know, I had Senator Onder on earlier in the week, and we were talking about several things, including this other bill that was like right to work, like the first right to work bill that passed, that they were looking at passing a second one that would go into effect a little sooner, maybe to circumvent some of the efforts across the state to get this issue on the ballot. Do you know anything about that bill, or has it been debated yet?
It is not. It has not been debated on the floor of the Senate, but yes, there is a move to get a ballot initiative out there and actually stop the right to work from being implemented in the state of Missouri.
Interesting. Well, we'll certainly keep an eye on that one in case as we get closer to May and the end of the session. Senator Will Kraus, thanks so much for your time.
Hey, Mark, thank you very much for having me.
You bet. Happy Friday to you. Thanks for updating us on that. That's going to end up being a point of contention for these labor unions. If you've missed the story, of course, the legislature passed right to work. The governor signed it. It doesn't take effect for a while. And in the meantime, they're trying to get some petitions signed that would put the right to work issue on the ballot because the bill hasn't actually gone into effect yet. And the secondary bill would pretty much be identical to the first one, except it would have an emergency clause on it, so it would go into effect much sooner before the necessary signatures, I guess, could be gathered to get something like this on the ballot. So that's the effort. We'll keep you up to date on how things are going with that.